morning, everybody. This is Justin again with the Coast Morning Report, and today I'm joined by Bobby DeLancelotti, a founder of the Estero Bay Kindness Coalition. Bobby, how are you?
I'm doing great, Justin. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been, we were just talking earlier that it had been at least a year or more since we last spoke. And you were telling us about the Estero Bay Kindness Coalition, and throughout the pandemic, I think things have changed a little bit for you.
Things have really accelerated, Justin, obviously, because the need has become so great. In our community, we have so many people that are vulnerable, they're food insecure and housing insecure, and just in so many different ways. And so, I'll just give you a brief update. When the last time we talked, we were doing our program called Got Your Back, which is a backpack program that we did at all 8 schools in the greater Estero Bay area, from, Los Osos, Baywood Park, up to Cambria, San Simeon, and everything in between. And we were serving about 220 students at that time, with the idea we get a backpack on Friday filled with 2 breakfasts, 2 lunch, 2 dinners, healthy snacks, juice, milk, and fruit, and they would take it home on the weekend. And all that was done under the umbrella of a nutrition club to protect the kids' dignity. And that was really going well. And we work primarily 99% of our, or 90-something% of the people that we serve are through the school system. So we work closely with the school administrators, since all the kids are on the free and reduced lunch program. So, the levels of poverty, we're not even, I think, aware of, just the people that are living right on the edge, one kind of paycheck and away, really. So when the pandemic hit, what happened was, we went from serving kids on the weekend, basically, to serving families during the week and feeding families during the week. So we initiated something called Bags of Love. We just had to come up with a name, so that was the name we just came up with. But at Del Mar Elementary School, what they did, and they also did this at Los Osos Middle School. So the school district, which is awesome, in tandem with the San Luis Obispo County Food Bank, did a weekly food drop-off of a bag or a small box of food, and you didn't have to sign up for it. You can just drive through. So that line was huge. But what happened was, Justin, was that the most vulnerable families, the most food insecure families, obviously they couldn't get to pick up the food. So there are people, that didn't have transportation. They're working 2 jobs. They're a single parent. They had kids at home or kids with disabilities. And so from the very beginning, we started and we took the people at the very back end of the line. So we got everyone that couldn't get out, because what we do home deliveries. And which is really cool when you think about it. We have 2 full bags of groceries, full of protein-rich food. And again, our mantra for giving away food is that we only give people this kind of food that we want to eat. Mm-hmm. And so we give really good, healthy food, chicken, cans of chicken, cans of tuna, bulk, beans, rice, peanut butter, tortillas, spaghetti sauce, all sorts of great stuff. And then we do, we do bread. We get a dozen eggs from one of our partners. Mike at the Avocado Shack's been an incredible partner, and we go through about 8 cases of eggs per week. Wow. And so they get eggs, milk, and cheese. So again, it's not just kind of, a couple of cans of expired food. What it is, it's good, wholesome food. And then we get a big bag of produce, fresh fruits and vegetables that we get through the Avocado Shack, through the food bank, through partnerships like the McCall Farm in Cambria gave us oranges and avocados. First Fruits Farm in San Luis Obispo is an incredible nonprofit. They're amazing. They have 4 acres off of Buckley Road, and they grow. They have an organic garden there. They have a full team of people working it, and they grow their food strictly to give away to food insecure families. Wow. And this is incredible produce that's picked on Tuesday morning. It's organic, and we put it in our bags. So again, we've got great food. And so what we ended up doing, we started with about 40 families about 17 months ago, the first couple of weeks. And right away that accelerated to between 70 and 80. And then we were averaging about between 85 and 95 families up until school started about a month ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And so in Morro Bay, we jumped from 38 families to 63 families. And in Los Osos, we jumped from about 55 families to about 75 families. So as you can see, that's a lot of food.
Yeah,
that's a lot of coordination. But we've got about 55 different volunteers. We've got food banks at Monarch Grove Elementary School in Los Osos, and then the Presbyterian Church in Morro Bay has given us a classroom there where we have our food pantry there. So we're rocking and rolling all the time. Buying food, bagging food. Organizing our teams. Lots going on, and that's what we've been doing. And not only that, but we've got a couple of other things that we've been doing too. One called Sunshine and Seed, which is what my wife started, and that's a program that gives new and gently used clothes to families that are struggling. Yeah. And so we try to do that so the kids can come. They have racks of clothes and they can kind of shop with dignity.
Yeah.
And then we make really cool self-care bags for the moms of like Fable soaps and lotions from one of our donors, our partners in Los Osos. Chocolates, kind of fun stuff like that. So the moms, we can kind of bless the moms too, and the kids get to shop and get really nice clothes, And then we have a third campaign that we haven't officially launched publicly. We've just been too busy, but we've been doing it for about a year and a half, and that's called Lunch on Us.
Yeah.
And we have a gal named Jan in Los Osos that had worked for years with Caps Flow, and so she has a real heart for the homeless, and so the people that we're feeding, we actually make every Sunday she makes a meal for about 25 to 30 families. And these are families that are living in their vans, in their motor homes.
Oh, wow.
They're not people so much living in the creek so much, but the people that have kind of lost their housing because of loss of employment, loss of income.
Sure.
And so that's kind of the four things we've been doing now. So you can see we've been incredibly busy, and we've got amazing volunteers, and it takes a village. That's why from the very beginning, when we formed the coalition, we wanted to be a partnership with the for-profit world, nonprofit schools and churches. And so we've got about 32 nonprofits that help us, that donate to us and help us, about 24 for-profit businesses, 12 churches and 8 different schools that we're actively partnering together with. So it's been beautiful.
Wow. When you started this, could you have envisioned the reach and scope of what it would become today?
Not at all. And sometimes I sit back and I just stop and I think, and I am so incredibly grateful for this flow of goodness that we're in. And I don't know how to explain it, except it's been a wild ride, but it's been exciting. I think when I shared with you before, I mentioned that, I've been in the faith community for several, 30 something years. I was a pastor. So I have a lot of relational equity in the community, and people know me and they trust me. And this is a beautiful byproduct that we've done. I've intentionally not done a Christian or religious or spiritual, whatever you want to call it, organization, because I want to bring people together.
Yeah.
And so the beautiful byproduct, that one of the things, Jason, that's been so cool is that we've got people building friendships and relationships and learning to really love each other that normally wouldn't even talk with each other. And so I've got people from all walks of life working together. And our thing is, hey, man, we're doing this for love's sake. Our motto is, or our mantra that we kind of say, this is love without agenda. We're not promoting anyone's agenda except to love our neighbor and to care for those that need care and to treat people the way that we want to be treated. And so we've been like celebrating birthdays. We had this one gal in Los Osos. Her name's I won't use her name, but she just graduated. She's been online and graduated from Arizona State, and so we did a huge party for her and we made a diploma for her. Fun stuff like that's been happening, and just this relational dynamic that's been happening, that people coming together in the community to really love and serve our neighbors has been probably the most gratifying part for me. I mean, I love the poor and I have a heart for the people that are on the margins. I always have, but I just love the fact that we can bring so many diverse people together to do really good things together. So that's been a blessing for sure.
Yeah. And as somebody who's, participated in mission trips and different outreaches and efforts like this, I know that, the volunteers come away feeling like they got more out of it than they were actually able to deliver to the people they were serving.
Absolutely. Yeah. And people, yeah, they have. It's been, so many people said it's been one of the best things they've ever done. So it's really cool. It seems like at times we're running to keep up with it. And sometimes I think, oh my gosh, how are we going to fund this? How are we going to do this? But then the money comes and there things come. And so the good part, as we've been growing, my daughter, Katie, who has got her master's in creative writing and poetry 3 or 4 years ago, she is our grant writer. So we've been getting some grants. I think we've got between 8 or 10 grants so far, but it's mostly low hanging fruit county grants. And we're trying to step up to get some of those bigger ones. So she's doing that. She handles our social media, and she's also doing our donation platform called Network for Good that we have, and our donor support and things like that. So that's been a huge help too, to have that done, and to actually have a newsletter that gets out every month that kind of informs people what we're doing and helps them see all the good things that are going on and just what the need is out in, the greater Estero Bay area, from Baywood Park all the way to San Simeon. That's where we're serving.
Yeah, absolutely. As the organization grows, the sophistication needed to drive everything grows. But when it's all relationship based, that's a great thing. And there's a lot of goodwill that's built in the community that way.
Absolutely. And it kind of silences the critics, of people. And not that we've had critics, but, people, they have different persuasions, whether left, right, in or out, good or bad, whatever. And we're just saying, hey, man, we don't designate by that. We just love. And so that's what we're going to do. And one of our rules is we don't judge.
Yeah.
When you go to a house, we train our drivers, we oftentimes we just put the bags on the front doorstep because they know they're getting it at a certain time. Sometimes we'll gently knock. Most of the times we don't. But, here I am. I'll tell you a funny story is that, so we had some new drivers this a couple of months ago, and I was telling the whole thing about not judging and blah, blah, blah. And so I always fill in all the holes. And so I was driving one day, and I was in North Morro Bay, and I pulled up into a driveway, this pretty nice house. And I thought, oh, this is nice. I'm okay. So Bobby, don't judge, be mellow, And all of a sudden this guy pulls up in the car next to me. It's a brand new one of those, SUVs, like an Escalade, I think it's called, a Cadillac, and it's a brand new one. And I start going, my judgment radar just started going, bah, 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 and all of a sudden, this guy gets out of the car, and I'm kind of unloading the groceries, and he says, "Are you from the Kindness Coalition?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And I go, "Were you expecting food today?" He goes, "Yeah, my kids go to Del Mar, and I heard that this was going to be happening." And then I said, well, this is, I forget what I said. I just said something, God bless you, or have a good day, or something.
Yeah.
And so he throws his arm around me and just starts bawling.
Wow.
And he just starts weeping, and he says, I've lost my job. I lost my business because of the pandemic. I'm going through a divorce. My kids are all living with me. I don't have any cash. I have zero food to feed my kids. And here you are in my driveway. And he's, here he is, draped over this big guy, draped over my shoulder, bawling. And I'm holding him. And I said to myself, I'm never, ever, ever going to judge. I'm never going to judge again. And that's one of the few, the stories. I have stories, a lot of stories like that, just really beautiful things of people being touched, and not only the people that receive, but the people that give. We're changed as a byproduct as we give.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's you just never know what other people are going through.
Absolutely,
from external
absolutely.
Appearances. Well, you had mentioned earlier that there's an event coming up for you.
Yeah, we had a big fundraiser that was scheduled for the last week of August at the Slow Brew Rock in San Luis. And we had the Zongo All-Stars, and it was going to be a huge kind of a dance party with a raffle and all that kind of good stuff. But leading up to the event, we just felt like in all good faith, with the pandemic and the Delta variant spiking, that it would not be responsible to hold that event indoors. And so what we ended up doing is canceling. but we kept the raffle going. And we have an incredible guy named Paul Irving who has Big Slow Productions in San Luis. He produces concerts, and he's also plays in the Zongo All-Stars. And so so what we're going to do, we're going to be live streaming our raffle on October 2nd. That's this Saturday, a week from today, actually.
Wow.
And it's going to be live at 6:30 from the Avocado Shack in Morro Bay. We're going to be doing one of our partners there, Mike at the Avocado Shack, Mike Wolf. And we've got 26 amazing prizes. But the grand prize, check this out, is really cool. The grand prize is Zongo All-Stars will go to your house or your event anywhere within 30 miles radius of San Luis County here, and the band will play for 2 hours for free. So donate like a concert. That's going to be the grand prize. But we've got awesome things. We've got dinner for two at Robbins. We've got dinner for two at Novo's. At dinner for two at Lunar Red. Our good friends Shani and Robin in Cambria, some of our best friends. We've got Airbnb at Bruce and Janie Kuntz's. They have what's called the Owl House right on the Fiscalini Ranch. It's this beautiful Airbnb for 2 nights. We've got all sorts of great wine. We've got just incredible gifts. And so if you go to Estero Bay Kindness Coalition.org, and right on our front page, you'll see there you can click on, and there's all the raffles there. You can sign up, and online right up to October 2nd, you can buy a raffle ticket, and you can help us. Not only you can get some cool prizes, but you can help us feed food insecure families here in the greater Estero Bay area.
That sounds like a blast. Really, it does. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, Bobby. I know you got some other things to get to, and I think this update really brings people up to speed on not only the need, but how Estero Bay Kindness Coalition has responded. And are you still looking for volunteers?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you're working with the volunteer army, right, everyone, people have to go into work, or they're leaving on vacation, or they've got a doctor's appointment, or, we're constantly looking for and we have so many different jobs. If you want to pack groceries, if you want to drive on the routes, if you want to help us shop, pick up food at the food bank, at the dollar store, whatever it may be, we've got a job for you. So again, if you can go to our website and just hit the contact page, and also my phone number's on the contact page as well, and our email. So, and also too, just if I can shamelessly put in a plug,
sure,
you can also sign up for our newsletter there on our website, and that'd be really a cool thing to do too.
Yeah,
and once a month we send out kind of an update of what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be signing up myself because I want to keep up with all the good stuff that's going on.
Hey, right on. That'd be awesome. And plus, we're on social media. We're on Facebook and also on Instagram. So I'm always posting videos on there or different updates of stuff that we're doing. So make sure to check that out too. Okay.
Great, Bobby. I appreciate talking with you. Wish you all the luck on the live stream coming up. And we'll be in touch again soon.
Hey, thanks, Jason, for being such a good friend, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.